Hi there, and welcome to the Sword Feast event run. First of all, we're just going to quickly look at the stats on the items. I haven't done a full breakdown, but they're a slight improvement overall. In the 7-piece, I can't remember if in the previous set there was Defend Chance. There's Defend Chance in this one, and it's really good to have that on. In the 8-piece, there is chance on being hit to reduce damage and to heal. The reducing damage is 15%, which is smaller than the 30% from the last set, but you do get the heal, so I'd say it's just about even. It's a nice one. This video is going to have all 3 classes, just like the previous video. If you're interested in the Archer or Knight run, then I will leave in the description a link to both of those, the points in the video. But this is going to go through all 3 with the Wizard first. The skill setup I'm using is the same as last time because I want to keep this as a standardized thing. I would recommend using Chain Lightning instead of Fireball because the enemies in this event are weak to lightning damage. So Thunderbolt is going to be a big help here. I've removed the Storm Ward skill rune because that will do increased damage and not everyone will have it, but I have kept the Thunderbolt one because most people will have it. It's the first skill rune, easy to get. Just to show, if you aren't on the new version, they've moved the belt icon here, and they've actually added in 2 new items. I don't know what these are. They may be related to class promotion, but you can see in the middle that one has like a Valor symbol, and this one has an event token symbol. So maybe they're related to those. I've also removed the Medal 1 banner because I found this event was a bit too easy, so I've made it a little harder for myself. In fact, if you have 300% parry chance, you actually completely avoid the little melee enemy hits, and both the Archer and Knight have about 300%. The Wizard is sitting on 211. I don't know why, but it's a lot lower. So yeah, it's a bit hard for Wizards in that regard, and you'll see. But in fact, this event is easy for Wizards and Knights. I found it's hardest for Archers. So anyway, this is my skill setup, just to quickly look at it. It's exactly the same as last time. We're going to run into this event now. I'm going to be avoiding using Fire Drake as much as possible because it does make this event too easy, as it does for a lot of events really, but I will be using it when I need it. You mainly want to go with Protection Bubble and Thunderbolt for this. The 2 of those skills just basically do the event for you. You also want to play with Divide and Conquer, and that's a general tactic used in games. If you don't know what it is, it's where you split the enemies up so you only face a few at a time, and then you take down individual enemies. Yeah, so the Thunderbolt will do that for you, take down individual enemies. It pretty much kills them without any more need for attacks. Oh, come on, I'm getting some lag here, sorry for this. This first fight is actually one of the hardest I found when you're not using Fire Drake. I think it's just because you face 5 enemies at once. So there's a mini-boss here in the middle, and enemies either side. You can draw out the enemies either side if you just do this for the top enemies, and then you'll see for the bottom enemies in a bit. This event is basically split up into a mini-boss fight halfway through, and then a boss fight at the end. The boss fight has 3 stages, and it's quite interesting. It's where the difficulty comes in for the other classes at least, but yeah, we'll see when we get there. These rock throwers, you can actually avoid. I drew the mini-boss, darn it. These rock throwers, they are the damaging ones, and you want to do Thunderbolt on them to stop them from attacking. Otherwise, the enemies aren't too damaging. They're more than in previous events actually, and they have a fair amount of health. Thunderbolt's just tearing through them right now, but if you don't use Thunderbolt, they take a long time to kill. I'm also going to show off a bit of Stormgate here because it's very good at stunning individual targets. What's worth to note actually is if you stun, this is a bug that's always been in King's Road. If you stun an enemy when it's moving, then they will continue to move, but it not be visible to you, and it messes up the positioning of the enemy in the game. If you stun them when they're still, then they will be still for the entire time, the entire duration. But if you if say right now I stun him with a Thunderbolt, he will then suddenly be next to me, but it won't. It will still show him stuck to the position. So if you do stun them when they're moving, make sure like this now. Okay, he's going to be about here. Is where I was stood. Make sure you're stood over to the side, because otherwise you might suddenly get hit by an attack. And what I like to do actually is teleport right through them, because that usually resets where they are, and things look about right. But otherwise you can really get messed up with things, and that's often where I die actually, even as my normal character. I mean, when you're fighting little groups of enemies like this, you want to Thunderbolt one as you attack the other one. Generally just use Thunderbolt to increase damage output. Now the boss is down here in the middle, so either side there's a group of enemies which you can again draw out, just as you did previously before the mini-boss. There's 2 melee enemies, and then there's like 3 range enemies and a rock thrower. So yeah, just use those. Now I simply went forwards when I didn't have protection bubble on, so I'm just going to use the Fire Drake here. But yeah, the point to stand for this is like at the edge of this broken house, if it is a broken house, this rubble kind of stuff. You want to stand like here, and it draws them out. On the right I'll do the same. Alright, now the boss that's just coming up is, in the first stage it's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. The second stage it gets this annoying attack, which it keeps in the third stage but does less frequently. I'll go through it when we see it, but essentially you want to be using Protection Bubble with very well timed to avoid the attack. Otherwise, Fire Drakes will absolutely trivialize the fight, but we're going to try and avoid to use them here. So yeah, you'll see very good use of Protection Bubble, hopefully. So yeah, for this first stage, just use Thunderbolt, and you can see a lot of enemies in this event just have a lot of health. I guess it's because now that we have elements, and there are quite a few lightning skills for each class, like they expect us to be doing a lot of damage, so we've got to just sit back and keep attacking on enemies. Alright, now the second stage, he gets, oh come on, no, I thought he was going to die. Alright, the second stage, watch out for when he raises up, he's using it here, quickly pop up Protection Bubble, and you can see there, it did a hit of 0 damage, and then a hit of a little bit of damage. That means it almost killed me, really. If I didn't use Protection Bubble, it would have almost killed me, and it's completely unavoidable. He rears up a little bit. When he does this long rearing up, that's when he's using that area of effect attack. Now, he's using it again here, Protection Bubble. You just got to watch out for it. Fire Drakes will be a decoy for it and make it very easy. But yeah, if you're not using Fire Drake, or your Fire Drake is down, make sure you do it. Otherwise, yeah, you get hit like that. If you use Fire Drake at that time, it doesn't work, as you can see. The third stage, he's again got that attack, and it's much harder to see, but he very rarely uses it. He's got a slam down attack turns into this kind of attack, which I don't know how to describe, but you get the idea. He also gets this rock throwing attack where he'll throw 3 enemies at you. That's what I like to use Protection Bubble for, as it just makes, the first one will do a bit of damage to you, then you can put Protection Bubble on and avoid the next 2 hits. He's also got this attack where he goes invincible, and these rocks roll around. You can see you just go up to the top there and they won't hit you. So yeah, here we go, here's an example. Oh, the Protection Bubble, bad show of Protection Bubble. Normally it works absolutely fine, but for whatever reason, Protection Bubble didn't go on. Alright, so here I'm just using Fire Drake as a distraction. I would recommend just to spam it, but yeah, this is what I've decided to do for all 3 classes, as my show of how to do this event, is just using the distraction method, so using a distraction for those enemies rather than using the distraction throughout the entire fight. So that was the wizard run. I went into quite a bit of detail there. This event is quite easy as a wizard, especially with Fire Drakes. so it wasn't totally needed, but I went into some things there which hopefully would help you out in other situations. Now we're going to go in, actually no, first we'll just see what I get. Then we're going to go into the Archer event run. Oh, we got the better ring, cool. So for the Archer run, first of all you want to look at what elements you have on your skills. You want to get these storm, these lightning skills, storm skills, whatever you want to call them. If you have any earth skills like the granite spike, you want to take that skill rune off, otherwise you'll do reduced damage. I'm actually going to take off the arc shot skill rune here, and that's because it makes it a bit overpowered, doubling the damage. If you do have the skill rune for ice arrow, I highly recommend doing that. If you have arc shot and static field, then you can spam them both, doing arc shot then static field. It does so much damage. I'm not doing this for this video because this is a guide video, but I highly recommend doing that and having shock as the individual target damage. Instead I'm using Firestorm instead of the static field because I'm trying to do this without skill runes, but that's what I recommend if you do have them. Now this is the setup I have to begin with. I change it later on for a boss setup when you do get to the boss, but yeah, otherwise let's go into this. I'm not going to be going into so much detail on how to what the enemy attacks do. I'm going to be going through how to do the how to play it as an archer, because I've already gone through these details as a wizard. I talked a lot on that, and I'm not going to do it again. So I also mentioned when I was on the wizard thing, the wizard section, that archers have high parry chance. You can see here it's over 300% if I have the rewards equipped. With them removed, I have it down to 260%. But once this is over 300%, all the little melee enemies completely miss, and it makes it so much easier. So I accidentally drew the wrong enemies at the beginning, so I'm just going to just restart this. You want to use a mixture of Spread Shot and Firestorm for the first enemies, as you divide and conquer again, like with the wizard one. Now I believe the reason why I drew the other enemies is because I used Spread Shot in the wrong place and actually hit the other enemies. So I'd be careful of that, and I'd try to draw them back into this section if you can. You can see here, Spread Shot just completely annihilates groups of enemies. I don't know if other archers use this tons, or whether they just find their damage is so high they don't need to do that. But yeah, Spread Shot is awesome. I love it. Alright, so you move up here to get the enemies coming. You want to be using this shock skill. That's a skill without a skill rune on, but it has innate lightning damage. So this becomes your single target killer, and it will actually stun enemies for 5 seconds, and it has a 6-second cooldown. So it works really well for things like these rock throwers. Now I accidentally drew those other enemies. I don't know why I did that this time, but yeah, basically you want to try and take down these rock throwers like you do with wizards. As I said, this is the hardest. Sorry, it's hardest for archers. I found this event. Reason being, their decoy doesn't work too well, and they really don't have much in the way of protection against things. Maybe you could use something like Smoke Screen. I haven't tried that, but otherwise I like to do this kind of technique. Alright. It's interesting actually. You can't knock him back when you have him stunned, but otherwise you can keep him at bay with Spread Shot again. Ah, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. It's lagged. Alright. Let's keep it going. This guy just has so much health. It's really annoying. If you do use the skill runes for this, you can do... oh, he doesn't get knocked back so far. Oh, that's interesting. If you use skill runes and you use the mixture of those two skills, you can get this guy down so fast. It works really well. Because I think it does the... Oh, how much damage is it? The iced arrow with the skill rune on has like, I think 130 or 140% damage, and so when that's doubled, it does some really nice damage, and it's also got an extra damage over time, as well as what is it? The boost from Arc Shot, because that boosts storm damage for for 3 seconds after using it. So yeah, that's really nice. Alright. Is he down? Yes, he's finally down. Okay. The boss is where this gets really tricky, and it's difficult to know what to say to do. I ran it a lot, testing different things. Oh, by the way, I do use rejuvenation potions in these videos, and that's because I don't have any other way to heal. So, I mean, naturally your health does go down a bit as you fight enemies. So, rejuvenation potions are easy to get from like any map run. So, I'm not gonna specifically not use them. If I can stay on low health for a bit of time, that gives enough time to use a small rejuvenation potion. Right. It didn't manage to stun. Did it stun? No, it didn't manage to stun. Oh well. If you've just watched the wizard version of this video, you'll see that archers really do take down the enemies faster, even though they've only got shock as the one skill runed thing, and it's not as good as Thunderbolt. Just the extra damage really makes a difference. Come on, come out. It's weird because that first bit, the enemies really wanted to come out and face me, and now this bit they don't want to. Alright, rejuvenation potion. But yeah, archers seem a little bit tankier, at least with the current event sets compared to wizards. Which is quite good. Okay, now for the boss, I will change Pierce, because you don't need Pierce, out to Mark of Death, I think. Yes, Mark of Death. And then I'll change that to Fire Trap. Now, so the skills I now have on: Spread Shot, Shock, Sniper, Mark of Death, and Fire Trap. Now, the reason I changed that out is actually because you want the single target damage to take them down faster. It really stacks nicely with the shock. If you can see there, I hit 120,000, which compared to my normal 40,000 is a good hit. The decoy you want for the second stage, which is where it gets really tricky against that attack, which is unavoidable. You actually want to predict when he uses it and use a decoy just before. Protection bubble sometimes doesn't come back fast enough. He uses it very regularly, so at regular intervals, so you can guess when he's going to use it. And if you don't get lag, then oh my god, no. There we go. Alright. I managed to time it right somehow. Okay. If you do have the skill in for Arc Shot, so Spread Shot, then I highly recommend spamming it on this one as well. Okay. I used decoy a bit randomly there. I shouldn't have done it, but you can see I managed to catch him with it. Use it every 15 seconds, like I said, so I should get another decoy by the time he uses it again. I didn't mean to use it there though. Alright. So I'll put out a decoy now. He's going to use it again now. Yep. So that's really a practice thing to learn when he's going to use it. But yeah, hopefully it's something which you can master. And otherwise, if he's going to hit you with it, the first attack will do reasonable damage, and then the second one might kill you. So just after the first hit, use a rejuvenation potion very quickly. Oh no! I didn't see him using it. I'm getting lag at the moment, and it's really annoying me. Alright, so he throws out these 3 enemies, which can be very annoying. I like to use decoy to distract them, and then basically just keep them distracted, because they won't take down the decoy until he uses the boulders. And then during this time, take out all those enemies. And otherwise, just don't use decoy at all. Just attack him with these. Oh no! You can avoid the rocks by running, as you can see there. So you just got to watch out for him using them, along with the other quick attack, which no, he's not using it now. But if he uses it, it's the one which the second one uses. And sorry for the jump there. I got distracted by something. So I accidentally let a load of enemies stack up. If this does happen, so you can just walk away from where the boss is, and you're pretty safe. And then just, as you can see, spam spread shot onto them and decoys. This is the, like I said, it's a bit easier than the second part of the fight. The second part of the fight requires that careful timing, whereas this third part is more about just crowd control with these enemies and knowing what attacks he's using. So right now he's going to use the slam down attack, and then yeah, I'm going to back away from the second spike. So there you go. Okay, I don't know why I put the decoy there, but he's doing the boulders now. I'm just going to use a potion, and I'm going to try and take down these enemies before the end of the boulders. No, I'm not going to manage it. Okay. So put one up there for distraction. Oh no! I thought I'd avoid those. I should have avoided those rocks, but just with a bit of lag. I'm sorry for the deaths with this. I'm trying to rush because I need to go eat. But yeah, you generally want to circle around and keep those enemies distracted while you chip away at his health. Alright. Now there's a lot of enemies stacked up again, so I'm going to take them down. No, where's it run? Ah, it ran down. It's annoying when you don't have much damage because everything just takes so long to kill. I'm going to use the rejuvenation potion again. Alright. There you go. Let's keep those distracted up there. Do some more on his health. When he uses that slam down attack, it gives you a big amount of time, large amount of time to hurt him. Now we're going to go over to the night fun, but firstly actually I'm just going to open my reward, see what I get. The lesser ring. Not quite as good as what I got when I did the wizard run, but there we go. Now on to the night run. So I've just switched over to my knight here, but one thing, I actually forgot to equip this item piece onto my archer. You may have noticed I was hitting low amounts of damage. That's because I was missing the 8p set bonus of crit chance, also actually the set bonus, and then the crit damage. So it was a lot harder what I was doing. I should have been hitting a lot harder, a lot higher, and yeah, it would have been a lot easier. It is harder to do as an archer compared to the other two classes, but it shouldn't have been that hard. Alright, so now we're onto the knight. Again, I'm going to look at skill runes. I'm not going to be using, this is the cleave skill. It has got a skill rune for it, for doing lightning damage. I'm not actually going to use that skill for this. Instead, I decided to go with this setup. Instead of angelic form, I'm going to use rumble to begin with, and then I'm going to switch it out to angelic form later. Oh no, sorry, I go with angelic form, and that's the reason. The reason for that is because the parry chance here is 293%. Now 300% gives full parry chance against the small melee enemies, so we've pretty much got a full parry. And you'll notice they do nothing. They so rarely hit, and when they do hit, it's defended, so it does very little damage. So my skills for this are Thunderblade, which is the skill rune version of I can't remember the name of the skill, but yeah, it's the one everyone has, the main. And then I've got Hurl, Holy Shield, Protector, and Angelic Form. I'm going to run into the event now. Yes, I've got enough event tokens. So this isn't too bad as a knight. Thunderblade is going to be a massive, massive hitting attack. Needless to say, you go for the same kind of targets as you do for Wizard and Archer. I'm going to be drawing out the enemies again. Holy Shield I like to spam quite a bit. Hurl doesn't do a ton of damage, because they do take a few hits to take down each of the enemies, but it adds on to it. And I'm using it instead of Cleave. You could very easily use Cleave, but the reason why I use Hurl is because Cleave only hits the melee enemies, and melee enemies won't really do any damage to you, so there's not a whole lot of point trying to put your class together specifically to take them down, because you don't need to take them down. Now the ones you do need to take down are things like this enemy here. This one here. Now actually, if you hit, sorry, no, not Cleave, I was going to say for the Archer, Shock actually hits a very small radius around it, which is brilliant. It's something I didn't actually know, but I came to find out when I used it. It's a very, very small radius. You're very unlikely to hit anything with it, but if you aim it well, you can actually hit other things. So yeah, saying this in the wrong part of the video, but oh well. Now, in the first stage of this fight, it didn't matter before, but he uses a big attack, a really slow hitting attack. He uses a slow hitting attack like that. Now that, I didn't avoid it there, really stupidly. I kind of lost concentration. But yeah, just make sure you don't get hit by that. He will only use that attack in the first stage, I'm pretty sure. In the second stage of him, he's really quite easy. Sorry, I can't actually remember. It's been too long now since I did this as a knight. But yeah, basically you can pump Angelic Form, or you can just run around. My commentary is not going to be good. I'm really tired right now. But yeah, in the second form you can see I'm parrying pretty much all the hits. That first stage you can't parry the hits. They'll always hit you, so you have to avoid that. But yeah, so that's why I couldn't remember what happened. The second stage you can just kind of sit there. Now I already took these enemies out. Again, I'm going to draw out the enemies to the side. These melee enemies aren't really going to do much at all. It's strange because I don't like to be overpowered with things, but really I'm in relic items. I'm not overpowered, and this is just how it is for the knight. So I'm not sure if you don't dodge all of those. It's defending them instead. But yeah, Holy Shield gives some good damage. I'm going to use Angelic Form here just to heal up. Right, and then we'll use Thunderblade on this guy. Take this one down. Okay. For the boss, you have to focus on a few things, but there isn't too much. It's not like the Archer and Wizard. That's Wizard without Fire Drakes. It's not too bad. You've got to kind of run around, run away a bit, wait for Holy Shield to come back. I do use Rejuvenation Potions just because they're easy to get, and otherwise I have no way to heal. But yeah, as you can see, you can kind of sit here for a while, let them get a few hits on you, and then either use a Rejuvenation Potion or kind of run away, wait for Angelic Form or otherwise a skill, move in again. When he gets to a second wave, the attack which used to do a ton of damage now doesn't do so much damage, on a knight that is, sorry. And so yeah, you can just tank it up. He hasn't got much to worry about really. There, Angelic Form, I still survived. It's funny playing as a tank. Alright, yeah, you can see I'm hitting like, actually no, you probably can't see so easily. I'm hitting about sort of 30-40,000. That's what I should have been hitting as an Archer, but, or close to that anyway. But yeah, I didn't, because I stupidly forgot to equip the item piece. So yeah, for this you can kind of tank it up for most of it. I didn't find too much of a problem. I thought you might have to run around a bit, but to be honest you can just kind of sit here and use Rejuvenation Potions. and then when you want to take down these enemies, because if they stack up, you can use Thunderblade and it stuns them all, and yeah, not much trouble at all. My commentary's gone very non-specific now, because it doesn't really need to be. It doesn't need much commentary for this, to be honest. Once you've got these certain skills on, it's fairly simple to do. And this is, in fact, about how easy it is as a wizard if you use the drakes. What's he doing? Oh, yeah, he's good. He can still attack. So yeah, that was the event run as a knight. And let's see what item I got. Next I'll be making a video as the tournament showcase of the current tournament going on. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to upload it, probably after when the last challenge comes out, just because I'm running out of time with things. I'm busy tomorrow. It's just trying to get everything together is difficult. So I got 5 dragon stones for that. Unfortunately not as good as the other drops, but hey ho. And yeah, if you might have noticed there's a mythic curio in that event box. Brilliant giveaway. I'm surprised that they did that. I got it in, I think, under 10 runs at least. Brilliant to pick up. So yeah, that was the event run. As you can see, all relic gear. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the tournament showcase in hopefully the next day or two.